Thanks, Negi sir, for this opportunity. It is really great to be part of this event, and thanks participants to be here for this session. And this session, I think, is very, very relevant today when we are seeing the turmoil due to Middle East crisis. And this turmoil is actually raising the prices, raising the volatility, and all of this actually goes into the decision making, how CGD should actually procure gas. And as we understand, CGD is currently the topmost, the sector, of course, after fertilizer in terms of consumption, but fastest growing, 9% every year. And this is the only segment which is growing so fast, otherwise other sectors are not growing at all. And though in India we have actually seen overall increase in, not increase in price, rather in the consumption. This year actually the consumption have really remained flat, but CGDs have grown, and they are now constituting 23% of the total gas consumption. Now, if you see the CGDs, from the CGD perspective, the gas sourcing is something which is important constituent of their OPEX. So I think from their total OPEX, this should be at least 60% of their total OPEX, and this becomes very, very important function given that you have lot of possibilities and variations, and you have a regime, so many regimes of gas in India. Of course, if you go to any matured market, there is nothing. We have domestic, which is APM. There is a domestic HPST. There is a domestic which is has got complete price freedom. And then we come to RLNG. In RLNG, you have long term, you have spot, and of course now we have exchange. So when these are like at least 5 regimes, you can see you have currently through which you can source the gas. Then you have to do prioritization. That what should be the first one. And sometimes the first one is, of course, APM, but you really don't know to what extent that will be available. So we currently, CGD get, I think, 50% of their total requirement from APM. That too only for CNG, PNG, not for otherwise. On HPST side, few CGDs have done long-term contracts, so they know this is available to them, but some part of HPST is sold in the spot, which is through exchange, and that is also now becoming significant. And since CGD is growing segment, so they are not sure to what extent they will be requiring gas, say next year. Of course, they know for front month and maybe few months ahead, but not what will be the growth next year. And then for that also, they have to make sure that they should, how they should procure gas. And then when it comes to long term, then of course they have to think of whether they should have completely under take or pay of 80%, 90%, 85%, or maybe 60 or 70, because we understand that many CGDs have gone for take or pay clauses which are something like 60%, so that they should have option to procure cheaper spot when spot is available at much better prices. And then when it comes to spot, they again have option to do a bilateral trade or through exchange, because in case of bilateral, of course, when they need something for 3 months, they go for bilateral, and of course they can use exchange, but they have again choice of exchange and bilateral. So with given that so much of choices are available, we would definitely hear perspective of Mr. Bhashit and Sudhirji from CGD perspective, and of course Mr. Ashok Kumarji from perspective of the domestic gas producer side. But before that, I will just give you what exchange provides options for, because we started this exchange 2020, and of course we have been associated with Mr. Negi since early days. I think 2010 onwards we have been looking at this space, whether we should have an exchange in case of gas sector or not. And of course, it took some time for us to decide, and then we took a call in 2018, then we started 2020. Today, I'll tell you that we have almost all CGD companies registered with us, all marketers registered with us, all major industries are registered with us. Of course, fertilizer is not so much part of the exchange, because they have been given option of EPMC. But otherwise, whole of market who are actually have option to source gas from third party, they are with exchange. And I'll, because today is the first day after the year closed FY26, I'll give you the numbers that we have closed this year with 5.5 MMSCMD average of trade volume. So this trade volume is not only trade volume, the delivered is also same. There is no change in the delivery side. So which is equivalent to something like 2 BCM of trade. And we have done about 1700 plus trades. So each trade is really big trade, and that constitute of a few daily contract, intraday contract, day-ahead contract, and then weekly, and then fortnight and month, and then 3 month and 6 month. And as Mr. Tiwari sir was also saying that we have already approached PNGRB for giving us approval for 1 year, 2 years. So basically, intention is that since it's a competitive platform, it's transparent. People would like to use this platform for procuring in a very transparent manner. And in case whatever they need for today, they should be able to source through exchange. If they need for 1 year, that also they should be possible. And we also have provided the complete portfolio of contracts where if you want to buy at a fixed price contract, you can do that. So if you trade at certain price, say today it's ruling around something like $18, you can get the fixed price contract. Mostly that is for up to 3 months. But if it is beyond 3 months, people would like to source or some sellers would like to sell at price which are linked to international benchmarks, which are like WIM, JKM, Brent. So all these 3 benchmarks we provide option for, and that people use it. We also have option today for SSLNG, small scale LNG, what Mr. Sharma was talking about. So that also, those contracts are also there on the exchange, so people can buy through using the trucks, and they can take it through us. And on the HPST gas side, we have option that ONGC and Reliance, they have some gas which is available for sale through exchange. Of course, ONGC has been selling all of its, almost all of its production through us on monthly basis. And some of the production at CBM fields like Bokaro and other fields, they are selling at very short notice also. So on 1 day notice also, for 1 day, 2 day, week. So all of these possibilities ONGC has explored. That if they have certainty about their production for a week, they sell for a week. If they have certainty for 2 days or any new fields which are coming up, and from there they would like to sell, actually they are using all those options, and it's really been very useful for all the producers. And if you see that HPST overall volume from Reliance and ONGC that's being sold through exchange now, in January 23, government has actually set a priority that first that gas, if it is being sold at ceiling price, that should first go to CGD for CNG, PNG demand. And of course, later the other areas were also mentioned. But of course, now since last 2 years, we are seeing that almost whole of that gas is flowing to CNG, PNG. And actually, that has relieved to this CGD sector, given some relief to CGD sector, that they are getting that gas on the demand basis on from the exchange, and then this whole thing currently whatever is being offered by Reliance and ONGC, that goes directly to CNG, PNG. And if you see in terms of numbers, this gas constitutes something like 66%, and balance of course is being consumed from RLNG side through exchange, and that is also very, very relevant for CGD companies. And we have seen that actually if you see the PPAC numbers, the CGD demand which is growing at 9%, of course the domestic they have remained flat in the sense that APM allocation is declining, but otherwise HPST that's also not growing much. But mostly the growth happened on the RLNG side, and today which constitute about something like 23% of the total demand of CGD goes to, the growth in RLNG segment by CGD actually was 23%. So these were few of my thoughts I wanted to share.